yes. Hey, Stephanie Tucker, honey. So yes, y'all, I have my wonderful friend Stephanie here today. I told y'all I was about to bring the ladies, honey. The ladies in these wonderful marriages that I look up to, I inspire, like all of those things. So this is, I guess, the number two. So baby, we finna keep this party going. This is Stephanie Tucker. So Stephanie, tell the people a little bit who you are, and then we'll get this party started, child.
Well, I'm Stephanie Tucker, one of the two mother Tuckers. So, anyway, mother of two, husband of 26 years. I have to get it right.
Okay.
Also worked for a telecommunications company in HR as a sales compensation analyst. Love fitness, as you know, so into bodybuilding, running, all of that. So love fitness and support my husband in his fitness business, which is straight right boxing and fitness. So, which I actually recently got a coaching's license just to help him out at the gym. So I guess you can add coach, mother, you name it, honey. I wear a lot of hats.
And that's probably one of the things that you and him really connect on is fitness, because both y'all are fit. Y'all, we just got back from a trip that it's about 20 plus of us from Little Rock. We go on these trips every year, a couple of times a year. And I just love them. They're like best friends. So I'm just like, I had to bring Steffi on here and talk to y'all so she can give y'all some tips on how y'all need to do it the right way.
Well, now listen, I'm no expert, so trust me.
I know, but let me tell you what you are an expert at. You still doing it at 26 years, honey. And like I said, I'm around you guys. I see the love. I see the friendship. I see the connection. I see it with my own eyes. So yes, no, you're not an expert, but you're an expert at doing what you're doing.
Well, with him, hey, it's working. It's working for us.
Absolutely. So let's go on. How did you and Anthony? How did y'all meet?
Well, we worked at Walmart. So I worked at Walmart, and again, I'm one of those people where if I'm working in the cashier, I'm trying to learn different departments. So anyway, I moved all over the store. Anthony was working in receiving, and like I said, then he got into management, and I think at the time I was working in cash office. So it's like that. You seeing him, he coming up, to the front, and I'm like, he might have a little potential. So how you start to flirt, this, that, and the third, and the rest is history. So we met at Walmart back in the 80s. I think it's like 86, 87, somewhere around in there.
Love it. So when did you know that he was the one? When did you have that little gut feeling like, this is my man, this is my person?
Well, and funny you should say that, because I was telling my girlfriend, and Trisha, I was saying, hey, if this man touched me one more time, like he gonna drive me crazy. Because he's a touchy-feely type person. We joked about it or whatever.
Okay.
And she was like, girl, stop being silly, da-da-da-da-da. But when I knew, it's like, I don't know, and like you said, it was a gut feeling. Mm-hmm. It's like I tried my best not to like him. Like I tried to do everything, like, but it wasn't there. Like everything was still clicking. Everything was, and it wasn't like it was magic. It was happening organically. And like I said, it's, for me, I just had that, it was almost like sickening, like it made me want to throw up type feeling. Oh. And I had never felt that about anybody, didn't even know I could feel that, first of all, because I was always like, I'm over him. I'm tired of him, So, I mean, I'm just keeping it real. It was just always something,
Because these ladies need to know the real, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like I was saying earlier when I was talking to Shelly earlier, I was just like, I just feel like a lot of women have lost their way. They're like kind of giving up on love. And that's why I really wanted to showcase you all, because y'all didn't give up. Y'all doing it. Like you said, I know no relationship is perfect, but I still know that I still believe in love. and especially Black love. But I just see you doing it, and y'all do it beautifully. I mean, I see it. I just see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
So,
like I said, nobody's perfect. Everybody, because we don't have the blueprint, you
right,
know, and so that looks different for everybody, and like I said, it was a gut, feeling for me, and I asked him too, like, what did it for him, and I don't know if I should spoil it. If you're gonna have him on the show, I might shouldn't tell. But it was funny because
you should say.
oh, you think I should say?
I think you should tell us. I think
Okay.
now.
Well, when I asked him, he was and two things for him. He
Okay.
said because I was an usher at church, but I was put onto the women's program or whatever, and of course I was nervous about speaking because who's not? You always nervous about doing something. But until you get up there and you start to, all the sweat and all up under your arms and all, have subsided. And so the program went well. And he said, but that did it for him is that when I spoke that day, that sealed the deal for him, And then we both went to his mother's house. And I don't know if it was around the holiday or if we were just going because he's from the country. And so she lived in Coke, Arkansas. And we went and we visited her one day and she looked at us and said, what are you waiting on?
Oh, wow.
And so we kind of looked at each other like, and she said, what are you waiting on?
Wow.
And so we had a conversation because it was Forest City, so now we got an hour and a half drive back home. So we, that was just deep. Like, it's like she solidified kind of like, I think we are each other's person, so it was wow.
So at that time, how long have y'all had been dating? Do you remember?
Well, at that time, maybe 6 months. I don't even think it wasn't really that long because I only dated him a year before we got married.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we've only been together a year before, and then we got married.
I love it. So her girl mama knew. She was like, what y'all waiting on?
Well, she was a pastor, so I'm sure, so yeah.
So what qualities do you think are the most important into having like a healthy marriage? Like just a couple of qualities. What do you have to have? What can you tell these women out here that want to go into these marriages? What is one or two qualities that they must have?
Well, and I'm gonna tell you this, and this is something that just after being in this thing for a while, and learning the bumps and the bruises, and then when I say bumps and bruises, for me, like I guess me and Anthony, we never wanted to be married. I always said I wasn't getting married. I was gonna have kids, but I wasn't gonna get married. And he never really wanted to be married either. He was like, well, if I start making X amount of dollars before such and such, I'm not getting married. So, we set this stuff up and it was funny. We both was from a single parent home, so it was just like, we didn't want to repeat the past of our parents, So it was kind of like we was fighting against that thing, like, so I was like, is that why we still here? Is that why we still working? Because like I said, neither one of us wanted it. And I know sometimes people have in their mind, oh, I want this fantasy marriage, or I want this, you set up these expectations for yourself that's not real,
Well, y'all broke the cycle, both of you coming from single parent homes. And that's one thing too. That's another reason why I'm like, this is so important, because I want even these young women and men, I want them to see that even though marriage is hard, I did it. I ain't do it that good, but I learned from it, and I do not regret anything from my marriage to this day. We're still really good friends. It took us a minute to get past that once when I divorced him, but I just want people to see that it's not always peaches and cream, but you still can work hard and you still can get through it if you really want it.
That's what I was gonna say too, Lynn. It's almost like you gotta want to be there too.
Right.
So at the end of the day, don't fool yourself. The quality that I say that needs to be brought is just be you.
Right.
Be who you are. Walk into this thing as whoever you are, and don't expect for somebody to make you happy.
Right.
Don't look for happiness in someone else. Come with that happiness already in you. Okay. Because again, you're looking for something that somebody else can't fulfill. So you've already set them up for failure, okay? Because they can't make you happy. So that's my thing, is don't come in with blinders to me. And that, because there's a lot of things I'm sure that you're gonna learn. There's gonna a lot of be, bumps in the road. So to me, and I'm saying this now, I'm talking to what I would have said to myself, that you need to know, you need to go to therapy. You need to make sure that you need to know that you got yourself together. Because to me, what I see is a lot of issues occur because, for one, somebody didn't lost their self because you was trying to be all you could be to this person, or you was trying to do this and you was trying to do that. We're always trying to meet someone's expectation of us,
Right.
And sometimes you lose yourself. So you got to come in this thing whole as a person, in order to make it work. So I can say, for me and Anthony, I think because we was trying to defy the odds. You know how to preach a kid always say, I was running from my calling. It's like I'm running from being married and I'm still married.
I love it. So let's talk about that. You were saying about not losing yourself. How do you continue to be that great wife and not lose yourself? What is something that you do to make sure that Stephanie is still good, that Stephanie is still whole?
Well, I'm not going to say that I did it. I mean, and again, and I'm going to say I did kind of lose myself in the fact that I lost myself in my kids. You lose yourself along the way, there's different phases. Okay. You're giving of yourself and you're doing all of this. So you're going to lose a part of you. And I think that's just part of it, probably part of the growth process. Because back in the day, I would have been like, I ain't gonna lose myself. I'm confident in who I am. I'm this, I'm that. But when I look back over it, I did kind of lose some of me because I gave all of me to everybody and gave to myself last. But I'm thinking in my head, this is what I'm supposed to do because I'm a strong Black woman. You know what I'm saying? So if I got to do this, I'm gonna make it work. I'm one of those, you give me lemon and I'm gonna make lemonade. Okay. I'm one of them type women. And don't tell me no if it's something, we gonna get it. So again, you don't still realize you are losing a little of yourself to try to satisfy everybody.
Got it.
So again, I say the quality is really coming to this thing open, like I said, for one, as yourself, trying not to lose yourself. Oh Lord, you did.
Flash in my eye.
And like I said, see, and go ahead and get that. I didn't realize how marriage counseling and things of that nature probably was a plus at the beginning. We didn't do that at the beginning.
Y'all didn't do it. Didn't. Okay. No.
So I say get that counseling. I think you really need to know what you're getting into and what nobody can really tell you what you're getting into because every situation is different. But at least you got a different mindset to go into this thing. Like probably they talk about expectations. If you can get to the foundation before you start building, the more sustainable, everything is going to be. So
I love it.
And then communication. I say communication because I'm not one. That's something that I've had to work on, as far as communicating in the relationship. Because I'm one of those, like, you see what needs to be done. Well, I got to tell you, So again, I've had to work a lot on myself because you do too what you see that was done before you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that was the right way. You know what I'm saying? So everybody mimics their environment. You mimic how you were raised, So.
And that's funny that you said that because I would say, like, even in my marriage, my communication wasn't that great, but I like I said, I've learned, and I'm like, I'm not even that person anymore. But what I do know is that whomever that I get with next, I know that I want to be where I ain't yelling. That's not happening. I'm not going to be yelling. I'm not going to be hollering. We have a disagreement. If there's a challenge, we are both grown people. So I did learn that from my marriage. That's something I do not want. I don't want. Even though he wasn't. I mean, I can kind of remember a couple of times that we had like disagreements, and he wasn't a loud person, but I know that I was because that's what I saw. Like I
Mhm.
was very like that's it, like I'll get to it real quick. So that's something that I work on too. That I know that I'm not taking that into my next relationship at all. Like we can figure it out, come to a happy medium, and that is we ain't hollering and we ain't screaming, we ain't doing none of that. So I'm glad that you touched on that because I know communication is key to a solid foundation of marriage. So yes, um, I just appreciate you talking about that because I think more people need to talk about it. And I know when you heated and you just ready to go there.
Right.
At the same time, you just kind of go into this maturity thing, and that's me, growing up that I was just immature and silly. I really was. So yeah,
To do it, just taking that time to stop and really reflect on what
what
was
it is.
said. Because my husband used to tell me, "You don't hear me. You're not listening to me." Like, and of course I'm thinking, "Yeah, I'm listening," but he was like, "Yeah, you're listening to respond." You know what I'm saying? You're not listening to take in and grasp what I said. And it's okay to disagree. I think sometimes we get into these relationships, and just because I may not agree with the way you think, it's okay.
It's okay. It's
You know, because guess what? I was raised different than you. You was raised different than me. And sometimes we see a same situation totally different because of the way we was brought up.
right.
And that's okay.
And it's okay, and it's okay to not be right at that time. Like sometimes I think that we as women too, we just want to be right, but we just sometimes got to be like, it's okay.
What they say, we got to give each other grace, honey.
Got to give each other grace. You have to. When did you know that Anthony, he was like your safe space though? When you was like, this is, I feel it. Do you remember a particular time when you knew like he was your safe space? Anything particular that like comes
Well,
to
I don't know. Stuff that stand out to me is like when he's driving, it's like he would always put his hand on, like if he come to a rough stop, he like try to catch me and then like when we're walking in traffic, so he puts me inside, so, and I said, one day I said, why do you always switch sides? He's like, cause he's my protector. So at that point I know, okay, well, he got me,
Do you know there's some people that at this day and age that they don't even know that? Like, I don't even think like I'm so glad you said this because I think I was talking to a girlfriend the other day where she was just saying that he didn't do that. Like when you walk in, he didn't put her like in the inside, and that's what she was used to. And that's crazy. Even when you remember when we went, because like I said, y'all, we just got back from vacation. We all went on vacation. You remember we went in the restaurant and you said, and I went to sit on the side where it was facing the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
You were like, no, Anthony ain't gonna go for that. Anthony want to see the door. He want to know what's going on at all times.
He don't want his back to the door.
Right. So I think a lot of these young men need to. I don't think a lot of them.
He has a bunch of old school,
right,
upbringing type things that he still do. He's still that gentleman. And not only is he that for me, though, he opened up doors for other women because he's that guy. That's how he was raised. And that was one attractive thing about him. Not only do he treat me with respect, if he see a woman coming in, he's going to open the door. That's just, his country upbringing. I say country upbringing. I guess you don't have to really be from the country, to have that. But that's instilled in him. So that to me is attractive, that he cares, and like I said,
we need that to carry on and carry on and carry on because it's just a sense of protection too. And then you having daughters, they seeing how he's treated. They're seeing how that he's treating you. So that's when they go out in this world, they're gonna be like, that ain't right. I saw what my daddy was doing for my mama, So it's so good that they're seeing that. It's just great. So my next question, and then the girl, I'm gonna let you go on and do your thing, chat, because I know you wifing over there. How how do you maintain your like connection? Like, what do you guys do for fun? How do y'all keep it? Keep the spice going in the relationship?
Well, we spicy already, baby. That's when we spicy.
Tell them. You better tell them.
Baby,
You better tell them.
we 50, but we ain't, honey. We in our 20s, okay? So, like I said, so that compartment we never have a problem with. That might be why we still together.
K.
Look, what you say? What's your
ladies? Is y'all listening to this?
So, baby,
in the game, honey, and she said the spice is still spicy.
Right.
Come on, Stephanie. Girl, you better.
You know, I got Meg knees over here for 51, baby. Don't play with them. Believe me if you want to. I always tell them, don't be trying to upgrade me, baby, honey.
Girl, I'm loving this on everything I got. I love it. So
somebody still would want a honey.
Child, you have given us all something that we needed tonight, child.
But we definitely need to, and go back to connection though. You definitely, you know, like we did incorporate date night, because again, we went through a transition where the girls, we became empty nesters. So now it's like you do kind of, you know, your partner really is not the same partner, you know, while y'all was raising the kids. So, you know, there was some time in there where we felt like we was kind of trying to do this, but we had to bring it on back and recognize, hey, what we doing? You know, let's get this thing back on track.
Right.
So really, we had to start dating each other again. We had to go to the website and buy them little cards. When you know, you ask the question, I don't even know what the name of the card game is, honey. We put one on our phone. We had an app on our phone. We would sit in bed and pull the cards out and start asking questions. Then we'd be like, oh, you did that? I didn't know, you know. So we had to date each other again.
That's
honey. So the romance picks back up from there. You know, you go in the pool, you going to shoot pool, you going to, and then like I would plan a weekend, he plan a weekend. Okay. So we both involved. So you're not just going where I want to go. I want you take me where you want to go, you know, because sometimes men, you know, they want to please their mate. Wherever you want to go, I'll go. No, you plan it. I want you to plan it from beginning to end. I want you to surprise me. So it was kind of like, you know, that became a competition. Like, okay, I'm going to outdo you. You know, again, but you got to find a way to, you know, recognize, first of all, that you are drifting.
Okay.
Do you want to still be together in the same boat? Do we want to keep sailing this boat together? Because if we do, then, hey, we got to figure out how we're going to navigate these waters, okay? Because we are different. We in a different phase of life. So you're going to hit those phases. But you got to recognize. Don't let it fester. Don't let it linger. Hey, and like I said, we already had the spice there, but it was just, again, do I still like you? You know, kind of thing, you know?
Right.
And, you know, but and that's why I say life be lifing. But you got to, if you want to be together, you'll make it work. It's all about who do you really want to be with? Do you want to be there or do you not?
Okay. I love it.
Is that for me? But you know, I'm not an expert. Like I said, honey, I used to ask the old people every time I find an old couple. I say, "Hey, what's the magic word? What works?" You know, give me
who do you talk to for advice, Stephanie? Like, who do you talk to anyone specifically about advice? Or okay.
I mean, you know, you have people that go through things, and like I said, we have done our bit of marriage counseling, and which was really, really good. And so I think that helped us a lot. And like I said, we didn't come in this thing with blinders. We, like I said, we want to be together. So again, when hiccups happen, it's like, okay, what we're going to do to do this. But like I said, and then older people, I think you always have older people that you talk to and you listen, you know, you weed out, you take probably a little bit, 10% from here and a little 10% from here, you know, and you mesh it together, make your own little book. But so.
I love it. And this question just came to me because I'm like, I think so. Someone asked me this on another thing, another show that I was working on. I mean, talking about this. How do you deal with, and this is our last question. How do you deal with women if someone is, or you may not have dealt with this, because she was talking about her husband where like some women like was DMing him and doing all that stuff. How do you deal with women being disrespectful of your marriage? If anybody tried to try y'all, how do you deal with that?
Now you know I'm from.
But I need you to tell the folks.
You know where I'm from now. You know I ain't tolerating no disrespect.
I know it, but I need the people to hear it so they can know.
And this is, well, you know me, I get ugly. You know, I go from 0 to 100 real quick. You know what I'm saying? Anthony is the cool, you know, because we had an incident one time where I think one of his classmates had said like something about, hey, sexy or something. And I'm just like, whoa. And I don't know what the heck I said, but you know I didn't already. And he was, but you know, he was up in there trying to delete, you know, the message. But, and again, and I think, you know, we go through phases. Like now, stuff like that really don't bother me now, the older that you get, because I think you do go through a jealousy phase. And when I say jealousy, you don't want nobody, you know, you kind of like, whoa. But when you know what you got and who you got, you don't really have to, you know, do that anymore. But yeah, I'm still that girl. Now don't get, if you in my face and you disrespecting, I'm going to let you know. It ain't, you know, so that is what it is. And, you know, nobody's going to allow anyone to disrespect them in their face, you know, because people going to say whatever they say. Because we laugh when we have old people that we know used to like, you know,
like
if they like him or like me or whatever, and we laugh about it. But
I love it.
You know,
I love it.
But again, that's the new growth of me, not the old.
Not the new growth me. Like, y'all don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Well, you know, it take growth, honey, because you know, we wouldn't make it if you don't learn.
Well, I love it, girl. You better, honey. I get it. Because, honey, I clown too.
You so crazy.
I love it, girl. It has been such a joy talking to you, y'all. This is my sorority sister, lover to death. I know y'all like, oh Lord,
okay, it's my look. You see my little my founder's blanket coming down.
So yes, look at Mike, girl. Mike over here. What is Mike talking about? He in the comments.
What did he say?
He just said some laughing emojis. So silly. But thank you so much, girl. The girls, we need to hear this from women that I love and respect. I think you are wonderful, and like I said earlier,
progress in work.
Mm-hmm, and yes, and it is all of that. But like I said, you've done it, honey. I bailed out. You see what I'm saying? So you did it. So I bailed out, and honey, I was like, I'm out. So I love this conversation because it's very like, it's so needed. It's so needed for our community. It's just so needed because, like I said, I feel like so many people are losing their way. And I just thank you. I thank you so much for being here.
Well, I thank you, honey. At first I was like, I don't know about this, honey. Lynn, you doing too much. I'm like, but we gonna go on and talk to the people.
Yeah, girl, you need it. Girl, they needed that because they need that. Like you gave them the real. And that's what people need to know. I'm telling you, some women just like, I don't want to be married, but they don't really know the work that goes into the marriage. So I'm like, let's talk to the people that's really done this thing and really stuck in here. Let's talk to them because everybody want to be married, but a lot of them don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just so happy and so grateful that you came on here. Gave your little honey your feedback. What is Mike saying now? He's talking about, oh yeah, lots of work. Yeah, we know it.
All right, girly.
Yes, go, honey. Do your thing. I love you. Thank you.
Love you,
everyone, for watching and clocking in with Lynn. Love y'all. And child, I'll see you on the next vacay, girl.
Okay.
All right, honey. Love you.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.